Hey, what's up YouTube? Thanks for tuning in. And in this video, we're talking about smartwatches. It's going to kind of be like a update video on where smartwatches are in 2015, and hopefully I'll make another one of these videos in 2015 too, just kind of to give you an update, show you where smartwatches are, where I think they are, where I think they should be. It's not going to be really much of a comparison, or not as much of a competition for like what the best smartwatch is, but it will be like a comparison, kind of showing some of the features that some smartwatches have and that others don't. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump right in. I believe there is four main smartwatches out there right now. The Moto 360, the LG G Watch R, yeah, that's really what they named it. The Apple Watch and the Pebble Steel or Pebble Watch are kind of the same thing. They have a Pebble Time as well, but we're going to mainly be looking at the Pebble Watch and the Pebble Steel because those are their two main production products right now. So let's just go ahead and look at the Moto 360 right away. It really is my favorite design on the market. It really is a pretty design. The circular display, minus the little flat tire bump at the bottom. But apparently they had to do that for design issues to put different sensors in there and electronics. So it is functional and it did have to be done, but it does kind of detract from the design a little bit. Not a whole lot, but it's kind of up to you if whether that's a big deal or not. The battery life is not the greatest. I've heard that you get about a day to a day and a half on normal usage off of the Moto 360's battery. So that's not the greatest, it's not the best, it's not the worst either. The interface and the operating system aren't exactly optimized for a circular display. It does run Android Wear, so that is essentially designed to run on a square display, but it does look actually pretty nice on a circular display. And it does have an awesome charging mechanism. Hopefully I'll be able to find a picture of that. It really kind of works as a neat little circular alarm clock thing. It looks really cool. Moving into the next one, that's the LG G Watch R. Um, the name is really weird. I just can't get past the name. Why they named it that, but that's what they did. It doesn't have the worst battery life either. That'll do 2 days, I think. I believe it also runs Android Wear. So obviously Android Wear is only compatible with Android smartphones. Thus far, Google has hinted that they might expand to different platforms, but there's no really official word on that yet. The display is supposed to be pretty nice. Also, keep in mind I haven't got a chance to wear any of these smartwatches or test them out on a daily basis. But this is basically what I've gathered from looking at different things online, and I have looked into smartwatches quite a lot. The G Watch R, the design isn't my favorite. It kind of tries to go for like a traditional look, like a traditional watch, but I don't think it really quite pulls it off. There's a lot of other smartwatches out there that do kind of go for the same traditional smartwatch look. I don't really like it. I prefer the Moto 360 really trying to be something of its own actual smartwatch rather than trying to be something traditional but a smartwatch. It's not my favorite. Maybe lots of people do like it, but it's not my personal favorite. Moving on to the next one, the Apple Watch. In my opinion, it has the best user interface and operating system out there. It uses this thing that Apple calls the digital crown, which allows you to scroll and zoom in and zoom out, which could be quite helpful because when you have such a tiny display, if you're putting your finger over the display, then you can be losing view of a lot of the content on the display, which I think is pretty neat. Operating system, I always like iOS a lot, and I really do think Apple has done it. However, smartwatches, in my opinion, at this point, really can't do a whole lot that a smartwatch can't do, or I mean, a smartphone can't do. But I don't know. I'm not quite sold on smartwatches yet. But the Apple Watch will really come down to whether the developers develop the correct apps or good apps that will really sell it to the consumer. The battery life on the Apple Watch is really average as well. They say 18 hours, so like 1.5 days worth of normal usage. So I mean, we'll have to see if it's more or less, but you'll probably end up charging it every night. It's also not the prettiest design. They went for the square display functionality over prettiness, and I don't like it a whole lot. The watch bands are really neat. Some of them are super cool. They're really expensive though, ranging the sport bands, the plastic sport bands are like $50, and the most expensive watch band that's not gold is like 450. The gold ones are really expensive too. It actually does come in a solid gold model, which is $10,000, I believe, and the highest end is 17,000. So that's really crazy. They went for the luxury smartwatch category there. And finally, the Pebble. It's really interesting. We'll kind of be looking mainly at the Pebble Steel right now, but it takes really a completely different route at the smartwatch. It's not trying to be what other smartwatches are trying to be. It kind of does this plastic design thing, and it has an e-ink display, which means it's black and white and pretty pixelated, not the highest resolution display in the world, but it does do the job. It is an advantage because it can be always on and essentially use no battery life. So that means the Pebble's battery lasts 5 to 7 days, which is really the best we've seen of any smartwatch out there. It's waterproof or water resistant to 50 meters, which is pretty crazy actually. It is compatible with iOS and Android, and you can put basically any standard watch band on it. They also have released a new Pebble called the Pebble Time, I believe, which comes with a similar display except it comes in colors. Kind of a different interface, slightly different interface. Comes with a microphone, I believe, and a speaker, so you can send and receive calls, do voice messages and stuff, and that'd be really neat. And or kind of neat. And the charging on the Pebble Steel and Pebble Watch is kind of neat. It's not quite as neat as the inductive charging that the Moto 360 has done, but it is a magnetic connector, sort of like you'd see on like a MacBook Pro or something. So basically, in summary, there's compatibility issues with all watches right now, in my opinion. Android Wear watches only work with Android Wear. The Apple Watch only works with Apple smartphones, and the Pebble does work with iOS and Android, which really does give it a leg up. The Moto 360, in my opinion, has the best design right now. Some people would disagree with me. Some people would agree with me. Some people think the G Watch R has the best design, but not in my opinion. The Pebble has the best battery life and water resistance. If you can live with the weird design, the plasticky toy design, so I'm not a huge fan of it, but some people do like it. The Apple Watch has the best operating system and user interface, and I think that would be really huge, and that probably would sell the Apple Watch for me. However, it is really expensive, starting at $350 in the Apple Watch Sport, and the Apple Watch starts at 550, going all the way up to 1,000. And like I said, that gold model will cost you $10,000 to $17,000. The G Watch R doesn't really have anything special. It's just kind of an average smartwatch right now. But basically, I'm not going to be too excited about smartwatches until I see something that has a great design, great battery life, is nice and waterproof, has a good solid operating system and user interface. And I don't think we've really seen that. We've seen one of those traits in many different smartwatches, but not all of them in one full package smartwatch. So I'm kind of hoping that will come in the next couple of years, and maybe then I'll be working on getting a smartwatch for myself. But until then, be sure you do the big four: like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. Always remember, subscribing and sharing are amazing. Share it with your friends, make sure they share it with their friends, and so on and so on. Also, like the video, and if you do have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, everybody.